So I really recommend just having a blanket if you do have one. It's okay if you don't have a block, but definitely a blanket or something to pad the knee with today. And that's it really. We will begin our gentle yoga, gentle stretch and yin class. We're just tuning in with the breath now, just to ground the mind and body into the moment. So you can take some deep breaths here. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. Come to an easy seated pose or any position that you're comfortable in. Really, it can be lying down in shavasana if you like. So just going to close the eyes. And whenever you're ready, taking a deep inhale through the nose. And then exhaling out. Inhaling in your own time through the nose. Maybe holding at the top. Exhaling out. Maybe pausing at the bottom before inhaling again through the nose. Holding at the top, maybe inhaling a little more. And then exhale. And now come just to observe how you're naturally breathing. Just noticing and observing how the breath is coming in through the nose and out the nose. And you want your focus to be on the entrance of the nostrils, or above the upper lip and below the nostrils, where the air is passing. And if we find that the mind wanders away, or we get distracted, or there's a noise in the room or outside the room, you just keep drawing your attention back to observing the entrance of the nostrils. And this is training the mind to really become concentrated, to be able to be focused on the breath. Just giving our mind a rest and allowing us to come back to the present. This is called anapana, breathing. It's very useful in day to day, moment to moment, especially if any sensations or anger or emotions are arising, you can really just come back to observing the breath in this way. Just to let go of the mind and become steadfast into the present with the body and the breath. Now we're going to practice our Ujjayi breath. So if you know your Ujjayi breath, go ahead and just practice that now in this moment. If you don't know your Ujjayi breath, we'll go together. The Ujjayi means a victorious breath, and it's really useful in our yoga practice, particularly if the mind is heavy with thoughts and thinking. You can use the Ujjayi as soon as you remember to bring you back to the breath and back to the body, coming away from the mind. So on your next inhale, take a long inhale through the nose. But when you exhale out with the mouth open, as if you're fogging up a mirror. Inhaling in your own time. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhaling. And when you exhale, keep the mouth closed this time, but as if you're fogging up a mirror as you did before. And you'll hear that audible sound of the breath coming through the nose. Sounds like the ocean, or compared to Darth Vader from Star Wars, that sound. That audible sound of the breath is the Ujjayi breath. So feel free to use that as a tool for your yoga practice. Now come to just observe how you're naturally breathing once again. And now coming to open the eyes and come onto your mat, beginning with tabletop position and then coming straight into downward facing dog with the knees as wide as the mat. Top of the toes come together behind the pelvis, so you're coming to sit on the heels, draw the hands straight out in front, and then melt the forehead down. This is a really good restorative pose. It's called child pose, Pittalasana. This is really good for just opening up the hips gently. If it does feel a little uncomfortable, you can always draw the knees in together and then fold the heart over. Fold the torso over. So we're just going to be here just for a minute or two, just observing the breath. Just allowing us to melt into this first restorative pose. Just surrendering to the here and now. Trying to be intentional about letting go. Just letting go of any persistent thoughts. Just surrendering to your mat, to your yoga practice. And as you notice that the mind is so active and wandering in, you can use the power, the practice of your meditation. As soon as you realize that the mind has wandered, you draw your attention, your focus back to the breath. Back to the breath, or back to just observing the body. Just observing how sensations may be arising and passing away, constantly changing. Of course, if you feel any pain at all in any of the poses in yoga, you can always just gently come out of it. There's no need to force a sensation. Really listen to your body and tune in. So if you're feeling anything that feels like pain, just easing out of that. But of course, if you're feeling uncomfortable sensations or perhaps tension, discomfort, you can use the Ujjayi breath to allow yourself to just surrender and let the body release the tension as it is coming up. Good, and then the last few breaths just in this child's pose. And then on your next inhale, you're going to gently draw up to tabletop position. Just taking a few cat-cows. On your next inhale, drop the belly. Look up, open heart, open chest. The cow. Inhaling here. And then on your exhale, just round the spine. Draw the belly in, chin to chest. On your inhale, dropping the belly, looking up, open heart, open chest. And then exhale. Round the spine. Draw the belly in, chin to chest. One more of those. Breath with movement, just doing any movement here that feels good. Maybe you're circling out the spine, just maybe putting some more weight on your wrists, just finding whatever movements feel good for you now. And then when you're ready, we're going to tuck the toes and take the hips up and back and the knees up and back, coming into our first downward facing dog. So we're just breathing here. If this isn't comfortable for you, the downward facing dog isn't comfortable, you can just do some cat-cows like we were just doing. So just breathing, taking the heels towards the ground. It's okay if you can't touch the ground with the heels, just breathing into a nice stretch. So good for the nervous system, this pose. Just a couple more breaths here. Really spread the fingers out wide. If you need to slightly bend the knees, that's fine too. And then on your next inhale, you're going to walk the feet up to the hands and just hang in this ragdoll position. So maybe you're bending the knees as much as you need, and you're just holding the elbows, and we're just gently rocking side to side. Just accessing some deeper stretches on the calves and the back of the legs, and also this is a very gentle inversion. It's really allowing the body to have the blood circulate towards the brain, but just helping shift the lymphatic system in general, your immune system. So keep deeply breathing here. And then on your next inhale, you're going to gently draw your torso up to standing in mountain pose, Tadasana. I'm going to drop your hands to the side. Oops, apologies. I'm going to relax the shoulders here. So I'm going to face you. So here we're going to just do some gentle neck exercises. We're going to take our right ear to the right shoulder, and we're just going to breathe here. Now, if you do want to take it a little deeper, you can gently, very gently place the right hand onto the side of the head, the left side, but we're really being mindful here. You don't want to force these muscles around the neck particularly, so we can have a lot of tension stored. So if we go a little too fast, it's just trying to be mindful, just to be aware. So just breathing here into this side stretch of the neck. You can have the eyes closed. We're gently going to release, and we're going to take our hand down. If it was holding the left side, we're going to take our chin towards the chest in a rolling manner, just gently taking the chin all the way to the left side of our left shoulder. Just breathing here with that. And then taking it gently all the way back 180 degrees like you just did. Chin to chest, gently. Really paying attention to slowing this down. And then gently coming back again so that the chin comes back to the middle of the chest and all the way, so that this time the left ear will reach the shoulder, the left shoulder. I'm going to take our left hand if that feels right, just to gently encourage any stretch. Otherwise, you can keep both hands down if this is enough for you. Just breathing here. Just a couple more breaths here. Deep breaths. And then when you're ready, we're going to take our head just back so that the chin is coming towards the ceiling. And we're going to gently breathe here. And if you can do the 180 degrees with the neck in this way like we did before, but this time just towards the back so that the right cheek is coming to, right ear is coming to the right shoulder. But trying to be aware that if you're hunching your shoulders up, trying to just be intentional about letting the shoulders come down and not so much near the ears. And then we're just gently taking that one more time, coming from the left ear all the way back. To the right, so the right ear is coming to the right shoulder and then releasing that. Okay, then we're going to take our shoulders up towards our ears on your inhale. Exhale, take it back. I'm going to do one more of those. Inhale, take your shoulders to your ears and then take it back. Good. And then just releasing that. But this time we're going to clasp our hands behind our back and just open up the shoulders. On your inhale, lift the chest. And then when you exhale, you're going to come into our forward fold. You can gently bend the knees here if you need to. We're taking those hands that are clasped behind us. And then we're just going to breathe here. Now, if this is really uncomfortable, you can just place the hands either behind the back where they're holding the elbows, or you can just bring the hands to the floor. So just finding a position where this is okay. So just breathing here, taking the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe now we're going to slightly bend the left leg so that the right becomes straight. And we're going to gently face our heart towards that right leg. Just breathe here into this stretch. Whatever you're feeling, whatever sensations you're feeling in the right leg, or perhaps the left. As long as you're deep breathing, just allowing to release any tension from the body as we're stretching our muscles here. I'm going to take that to the other side now, bending that right knee and then straightening the left leg, coming to the to lean on that right knee with our torso, but we're facing the heart towards the left side this time. So just breathing here. And then on your next exhale, you're going to release the hands to the ground, like in Uttanasana, forward fold. And then going to inhale, lift the chest for halfway lift. So your hands may either stay on the ground or they come to the shins. And we're just going to breathe here just for a couple breaths. Really tuck the tummy in for Uddiyana Bandha, so really lift it in and up. So you might need to slightly bend the knees here. And then on your exhale, draw the crown of the head down once again. I'm going to take our hands back out into our downward facing dog. And then from here, we're going to bring that right foot in between the hands. So we're going to gently drop that left knee down, and we're going to come up into a low lunge. So however this low lunge can feel for you, you're just checking that the knee is directly above the ankle, and we're just breathing here. It might mean if you want to go deeper, you can deepen the pelvis, so moving the pelvis a little forward, and you can hold the hands by the foot on the outside of the foot, like framing it. You can also use blocks if you need, or you can just stay up here, just gently placing the hands on the knee. Just breathing here. Now if your left knee needs a little assistance, you can place a little blanket underneath. So we're just going to be here for at least a minute or two, and now low lunge. Just going as deep as you need. Really using the Ujjayi breath. If you find that the mind last few breaths here. And then on your next inhale, you're going to straighten that right leg. So you're coming to half split. I can't remember the Sanskrit for this word. I think it's Hana. Oh, I can't remember. But anyway, half split. And if you find that you need blocks here, please go ahead and take anything that helps. If you don't have blocks, that's okay, but try to keep that right foot flexed. And then just breathe here. If you do have blocks, you can lift the torso up and then elongate the back, so the spine. So really stretch out the spine. But if you're not using blocks, that's okay. You can round the spine here. Just breathing deeply. Just going as deep as you need. If you want to take it a little deeper, you can just go where it's enough for you. deep breaths in this pose. The breath and the oxygen is really going to all the areas that the body needs, particularly as the tension is leaving the body and how we're stretching the muscles. The breath is so important. Keep trying to be observant of the breath. Using the ujjayi really helps. On your next inhale, just gently bringing that right knee so that it's bent again. And we're going to take our right leg back into downward facing dog, or if you'd rather just come into tabletop position, that's fine. Taking a breath, inhalation and exhalation here, before bringing that left foot in between the hands and then dropping that right knee. If you need a blanket on this side just to support the knee, you can. And then coming into your low lunge on this side, just finding a position that feels good. So if you're higher up, you can tuck the toe, the right foot here if you need more stability, or you can leave it untucked. So just breathing. And if you want to go deeper, you can just gently push the pelvis a little forward. You'll feel more of a stretch on the right, the inside of the hip flexors and the thigh there. So just breathing, just whatever sensations are coming up here. Keep using the ujjayi breath. So just about a minute here, deep breaths here. Last few breaths here. And gently straightening out the left leg, coming into half split on the other side. And just finding where it's enough for you. Flexing that left foot. Try and engage the tummy for Uddiyana Bandha, so drawing it in and up. Just breathing here for about a minute. Just trying to let go of any tension you might be holding in your face, or your head, or your jaw. Last few breaths here. And then on your next inhale, we're gently bringing that left knee towards you, so bending that left knee, removing any blankets, and then coming to a downward facing dog once again, just to stretch out the legs in our downward facing dog for the last time. And then when you're ready, on your exhale, come to tabletop position. And we're going to come straight into a puppy dog stretch. So you're going to place your hands out in front. Just draw the knees in together slightly. Check that the hips are directly above the knee. And then when you take your hands straight out, you melt the heart down. Bring the forehead to the mat. Just breathe here. Just to open up the shoulders. Really good for helping the upper back. Just open up that area. As we store a lot of tension in our hips and our shoulders. Being the most agile parts of the body, the ones with the most complicated joints. So really so nice to do this puppy dog stretch after your day. Just about a minute here, breathing deeply. Of course, if you want to take this a little deeper, you can place the chin on the ground instead of the forehead. And you're ready, coming up back into tabletop position gently. Maybe doing some cat-cows, if that feels good, just to counteract that stretch. We're going to take to pigeon now, so you can draw that right knee behind that right wrist, bending it, using that left foot flexed, and trying to, if this is too much though, you can always come into figure 4 position, which I will show you. So if you're bringing your, if you're coming into pigeon, just untuck the toes behind you. That left foot will be in line with the back, the right foot will be in line with the back left foot. Inhale, lift the chest, and then exhale, fall over that front right leg. That front right leg is trying to be parallel to the end of the mat, but it's okay if it's like towards the groin more. Just breathing here. If you find that you need a block or a cushion for underneath the right hip here, that might help make the position a little more easier to settle into. So just finding where it's enough for you, and if you want, you can place a cushion here or simply come onto the elbows or the forehead by using your hands as pillows. So just breathing here. We're going to be here for a few minutes, just opening up the hips, just allowing any tension to just release here. So using your Ujjayi breath. If this is too much, you can always come into figure 4 position, which is coming onto your back, raising your legs, and then placing the right foot on top of the left thigh, drawing your hands, like threading them through, clasping your hands, and then guiding them underneath the crease of that left knee and drawing that left knee in towards you just breathing here, and you'll feel a sensation on that outside of the right thigh. So it's the same as pigeon, it's just a different version. And then you're just breathing here. You're releasing tension in that outside of the right thigh. So just finding what position feels good, either pigeon or figure four. Keep using the ujjayi breath, coming away from the mind. Just a couple more breaths in this pose, this right side. And when you're ready, you're gently lifting up. And then we're gently drawing that right knee back, either into tabletop position or downward facing dog. And then you're gently going to bring that left knee just behind that left wrist, and then trying to, just finding a position that's good. That left foot will be in line with the right foot. And of course, if you need props or a blanket underneath that left thigh just to settle into it a little easier. When you're ready on your inhale, just lift the chest. Exhale, folding in. And of course, if you're in figure four, you're just releasing your right foot from your left thigh, and you're taking your left flexed foot on top of the right thigh this time. So the opposite direction. And then you're threading your arms through, clasping the hands underneath the knee, and you're drawing that right knee in towards you, and then breathing deeply. Couple more breaths here in this pose. On your next inhale, gently lifting up the torso, and then we're gently going to either come to tabletop position or gently take the leg back into downward facing dog. Just find what feels good for you. And then when you're ready, coming to a seated pose, and then coming to seated. We're actually going to come straight to lying down now. So from here, you're going to just gently lay the legs down on the ground. And then when you're ready, bringing them up towards you, maybe doing some circular motion with your hands on your knees, with your knees going in one way, and then maybe doing the other way, maybe separately, circling the knees out, or maybe doing a little hug in too. I'm going to take a twist here. Twists are really good for detoxifying the body and the lymphatic system. So we're just gently taking that left leg down, or sorry, there's two variations. So you can keep your knees lifted, together, and then actually shifting the weight to the right a little. So shifting the pelvis to the right a little, and then gently drawing the knees to the left side of the body and taking that right hand out. That's one option. Then gazing towards the right hand, with the eyes closed if that feels good. The other option is just to keep that left leg straight and then taking that right knee towards the left side of the body. So just finding what spinal twist feels good. If you're with the left leg that's straight, try to keep that right shoulder on, so both shoulders on the mat, but that doesn't mean you'll touch the floor with your right knee, so that's okay if it's hovering. Maybe put a blanket or a cushion there. And just breathing here deeply as we're allowing this detoxification process to happen internally. Last few breaths here in this twist, deep twist. And when you're ready, put the back knee into mutual position, lowering that right leg down, lifting the left, and of course if you did both knees raised, just dropping your knees to the right, gently stacking them, just making sure they're either in line with the hip or just above, and then taking that left hand out to the side, opposite direction, and breathing here. Of course, if you did the other variation, you're keeping the right leg straight, and then you're just guiding the left knee over, trying to keep the left shoulder on the ground. Just breathing here. Last few breaths here on this side. And then when you're ready, you are drawing that left leg back to the center, taking both legs down, coming to our final pose, shavasana. So with this last pose, if there's anything final that you need to do before we come into shavasana, that's completely fine. Just listen to your body and do any movements, any poses that feel good for you now. Shavasana, our final pose. Just lying down, letting go of the body, letting go of any tension in the body, any tension in the face, the jaw, shoulders. Just coming to observe the breath and observe the body in its entirety, just noticing the energy. And in this very, very healing pose, if you find that the mind wanders away, just draw your attention back to the breath, back to the body, maybe just observing the body, doing a body scan, meditation, just scanning the body of sensations. We're healing our body on such a cellular level with the in-breath and the out-breath. And deeply, deeply relax here into your shavasana. Coming to observe your entire body in this moment, just observing without movement, just noticing the energy, the electromagnetic frequency that is your body, the electrical energy that is the physical manifestation of the human body. Just being in here. Now come to wiggle the fingers and the toes, maybe taking a morning stretch, or maybe just staying where you are in shavasana. There's no need to get up if we don't want to. If you want to seal the practice sitting up or with closed eyes and hands in prayer. Thank you so much for joining me in this beautiful practice of yoga, doing the work, the spiritual work, the inner world work, going within and recognizing our true nature, our true self, the love, light, and peace and eternal wisdom that is within us all at every moment, accessible at every moment, just by drawing our attention back to the breath and coming away from the mind. May all beings be happy. I am so grateful for you. Namaste, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for joining me.